Good afternoon, everyone. Trust you are good. Thank you for joining the hackathon. I've been trying to stall a bit because I don't know where, you know, the rest of the presenters are. I mean, I sent a memo earlier. I figured, we'll be here much earlier. So that's why I've just been trying to stall to give others a bit more time so that they can join in quickly. So maybe another 5 minutes. I tried to do 10 minutes, but the numbers are still uh-uh. So maybe a bit more time. So another 5 minutes, right? We kick off in 5 minutes. Thank you. All right. So thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for joining the hackathon. Um Once again, welcome. My name is Joy and I'll be anchoring the pre-selection hackathon for today. Thank you to all the presenters from yesterday. You guys did an amazing job. So without further ado, let's just kick start, right? Yes. Okay, so judging again today is Miss Ruby, the brilliant mind behind Digitally Drive. Miss Ruby, please, are you here? Okay, so yeah, she's presently on the call. So again, without any more further ado, let's just kickstart. Right. So we had a presenter from yesterday, Okenla from Inside Squad. right? So because Ruby missed your presentation, you were asked to present today again, right? So please kindly share your screen. The floor is yours. You can go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I'll just confirm if you can hear me, please.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I'll be sharing some. Thank you. What happened? Okay. Hello. Good afternoon. My name is Koharu Kenla, and I'll be presenting my analysis on climate change impacts and assessments on the environment. So our data sets range from various years from 2000 to 2020, 2020 with over 1,000 data points, and having we had 6 unique continents and 25 countries that were assessed over this year. Please give me a second. Sorry, my apologies. So our data, we for the analysis, we wanted to understand how this data affected across the countries and understanding the climate change risk per year for each of the continents. And we can view the data set through this. And so for our plots, we did a normality plot to understand the distribution of our data across the continents and per year. And we can understand through this data set that majorly our data is normally distributed. So any analysis or assumptions made up of factors such as average temperature, CO2 emission, and sea level rise will be um, you know would be statistically correct. Then this is also showing the distribution of our data across the continents per year for each of our factors, such as average temperature or CO2 emission. Then we can find that across the continents we have factors, we have differentiations in the emissions of these factors over the year, but mostly um, we see Oceania overperforming in certain continents for CO2 emission and maybe like things like extreme weather. But the data is really diverse, so there is no conclusion on any data set that is or any region that is much more in any factor. And such, we try to select the understand the correlation plots across certain factors. For example, things like rainfall, average temperature on rainfall. We need to understand how correlation can be observed across this continent, and then we can find for at least for the year 2000 we have for for a continent Europe we have 0.47, which is a significant impact on rainfall, on the increase of rainfall. And then we can also view it across the continent as a whole, just to understand that maybe for the year 2018, we have a negative impact of average temperature on rainfall. So with this data set, then we also then looked at the correlation plot for the data to then visualize the actual correlations over all the years, and we can find there's really no strong correlation given the range of -0 to -1 to -1, +1. There's really no correlation on the negative or positive side across the values. And then we're able to then check the line plot of our data across the years for values like average temperature, values like for factors like sea level rise, and then we can find percent increase and changes or reduction for these variables. And then we then utilize the machine learning model to understand the projection curve across for these factors. And then for values such as sea level rise, we can see that there's an increase in a 5-year chance from 2025 to 2030. There's going to be like a projected increase. And for values such as rainfall, there is shown to be a reductive trend of this function. So grouping our data with continents, we then sought to check the differences between the proportions of our factors by continent, and then we found that only CO2 was statistically different using the ANOVA test across the continents, and then we then visualized the distribution of this cost, showing that Europe and Asia contribute highest to CO2 emission over other continents. Then it's also safe to say that this analysis or this assumption cannot reflect the real world data, because we have some missing values across the countries, such as South Africa that is only representing Africa. Then using a machine learning model, for the K-means clustering, we then ranked our data based on climate for each year. So we can find the climate ranking for the year to understand how see the trend so far for each year. Then using 2001, we can find the ranking of the years, um, and then we can see that on an average, if we go through each of the years on an average, continents such as the North America are found to have high values. Even in more recent years, they have been a higher risk as opposed to Africa and other continents. So, our assumption or our analysis is to present the risk analysis of this continent and to show the risk factors of this continent and to see how policies can help mitigate or target this continent that are more at risk of climate change impact on natural life and ecosystems over other continents. So that is the analysis from Inside Squad. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Insight Squad. Okay, so over to Miss Ruby, please. Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Good afternoon. So, thank you so much, Insight Squad. Your analysis was good. It was concise as well, but I mean, I like all of your insights. Trust me, you were able to play around so many like variables and just do, explore. You really like explored your data in terms of using different things to do that. Really, you did correlation, you even ran ANOVA. That was not just just analysis or dashboard, so to speak, or chart. You guys really went really technical, just to be sure that you are bringing great insights from your data, and just everybody really seeing your data not just from one aspect but from every aspect, right? So I really think that was a good one, and just taking extra effort to do something outside of what's just being creative. That's really something I'll commend you guys on. And in terms of your chat as well, it was quite user friendly, so it's not really something that's displaying too much colors. So I'll say the analysis was good. Yeah, fantastic. So you just want to walk me through just very briefly, so I can just look at other aspects of your project. You want to just walk me through maybe just your data cleaning? I don't think I got that if you mentioned it. And maybe also your recommendations. I know that you just showed us so many insights as to countries that risk for so whether just other
Okay.
pointers. Yeah, so you just want
All
to
right.
share like just recommendations, my analysis. This is just what can be done, because at the end of the day, the problem you're just trying to solve your problem statement, right? And then just maybe your data cleaning. I know some of the things you leverage here, to bring these insights to life, but you just want to just really touch on cleaning. Yeah, thank you so much,
Okay.
Insight Squad.
Should I go ahead with
Yeah,
that?
sure, go on. Yeah, sure.
So okay, thank you very much. So our data, we observed our data from cable, and it was primarily clean. So we did more feature engineering for more of like scaling our data to fit. But some data were higher than others. So when we're doing analysis, we had to fit the data, and then creating new data, such as we had to group our countries by continents using the ISO codes of the continents, and then we ensured that there were no outliers. This is why we also checked for the normality. So given how normal the data was for the variables per continent or even across
Pick
borders.
one. Were there pick one, yeah. Were there outliers in your data?
There weren't outliers. So we were outliers when we use the outlier, uh, when we use the outlier checking test. There's the IKR
Mhm.
test, and they've also used the normality
Wait,
distribution to
chill.
also
You
confirm.
guys just not you guys use interquartile range.
Yes, to check how like
Okay, the
the
outlier.
yes,
Yeah,
yes for the outlier.
yeah,
Yes.
perfect.
Okay. Yes. So
All right.
um,
Okay.
so for the
What
recommendations,
feature did you guys use to scale your data? What
so
feature you guys use to scale?
so we scaled based off so for some we scaled based off MP log. That is logarithmic scaling of our
Okay.
variables.
Okay.
Yes, that's what we use to scale down. Yes.
Okay.
And
So
then so
yeah.
the uh, my assumption what's the word my analysis shows that there's really no correlation as much on the impact across when it comes generally. We cannot find a pure impact on maybe the factors of legacy factors. But if you then probably go deep, let's say if you go by continent and then research continents such as Asia, then we can find that there is a stronger correlation of what's the word of CO2 on forest area change. So that means the more the forest area coverage, the more CO2 resorption or something. So that's to understand that there's a relationship with these factors. And then we're seeing a trend. This is why we have a projection trend. We're seeing a trend across because ensuring that there'll be like a decrease in rainfall. So we need to actually find mitigations to ensure that we are reducing CO2 emission or average temperature per country so that we have enough rainfall for the next 5 years. So we're seeing that a projection of trend increment in average temperature over the years, and we don't want that. So then looking at the factors like continents, we see that Europe are the one of the major contributors. So we're going to actually create a policy that will ensure Europe, as much as Europe and Asia, these big countries should find policies that will ensure more safer ways to use renewable energy and understand how these countries are more at risk. This like Australia gets wildfires all the time. So this analysis can show that these are the factors such as the increment of rainfall and the usage of CO2 emission. And if they have more renewable energy, then they have reduction of temperature and other extreme weather events in the continents.
All right.
So
Got it. Yeah. All right. That's okay. Well done. So I think that should be all from my end for Inside Squad. Over to you, Joy.
Hey, all right. Thank you, Insight Squad. Thank you, Ruby, for the feedback. So the next team to be presenting is Team Data Elites. Are you here, please? Team Data Elites. I think that's Miriam's team. Are you here?
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Blessing.
Okay. Oh,
So
bless.
I'll be presenting for Digitaley group. So you guys can see my screen, right?
Yes, we can.
So our topic is student well-being. We're looking at the impact of depression. We're looking at the impact of depression on students. The impact of depression, financial stress, and sleep deprivation on students and how it affected their study. So this is what we are looking at. This is what our project is talking about. Student well-being is a crucial factor in academic success and personal development. This study explored the impact of depression, financial stress, and sleep deprivation on students, highlighting the key insights through data analysis by understanding the factors institution can imply strategy to improve student support system. So our data, we're looking at how depression and financial stress and sleep deprivation can affect student performance in the academic performance. Our data was gotten from Kaggle, and we clean our data using Power BI query. and we transform the data by handling missing values, and also deleting duplicates, removing duplicates, and also ensuring that there's consistency in our data. So we created some columns for our data that had categories, so that we can categorize the stress that are the financial stress of our data. So our key insights of this data, this is the student demographic overview of our data. So in our data, we have 520 students. Out of the 520 students, we have 50 students that are depressed and at the average age of 25 to 35. Most especially, we have more of female students in our data, in our student demography overview. And we have students that has our students have high pressure, high academic pressure. They have high academic pressure. 190 of our students have high academic pressure. So we're looking at the statistics that have to do with the mental health and well-being analysis. So I'll start from this. Looking at this, we can see that half of our cost, we can see that 76% of our students are highly pressured, and have academic pressure, which leads to them being depressed. So due to the high academic pressure that they want to have, they were depressed. Those that were on LD, that had an LD diet, those are LD diet, they were depressed. So we have more of our students that are under unhealthy diets, and it led to them being depressed. And we looked at, okay, how does sleep and sleep duration and study hours affect students' well-being? We now saw that majority of people that study more than 8 hours have less sleep duration, and less sleep duration leads to them being more depressed and not attaining their academic performance. We looked at their study satisfactions. So if they are not sleeping well and they are studying more than that, they don't even have out. They are not even, their study satisfaction is not better, because they are highly depressed. If we look at how the total students that are satisfied in their study and those ones that are depressed, you will see that from our key insights, that those that have 5% study satisfaction are still depressed, due to the fact that they have less time for rest, and also less time for they have high time for study hours. So this is the whole insight of the data. So our recommendation from this is that institutions should consider giving students financial aid programs or scholarship, so it can assist them under financial stress. We have the other thing we can do counseling for them, to teach them about their mental well-being, how to cope with their financial stress, and also how to cope with their academic stress. We can also do flexible study schedule. We can do more, maybe online schedule for them that will give them the comfort of their own, and reduce the time durations they have to do for courses, or merge some courses together and not bombard them with a lot of courses, so that they can have lesser time for study, and also you can increase their sleep duration. We can encourage study group, where students can have a study group where they can get materials that are very, very not available. They can get it on time, and they can get it free, and it can reduce their financial stress too. So this is the overview of our analysis.
Okay, Blessing, thank you for that presentation. Thank you, Team Data Elites. Okay, so over to Miss Ruby for the feedbacks, please.
All right. Thank you, Team Data Elites. Can I see your dashboard again? Yeah, so that was a very fantastic presentation. That was I don't think they sort of reminded you of time. So I would say that you kept it within 7 minutes. I was still able to convey as much information as you should. So fantastic presentation. in terms of your dashboard, I think that you have a great dashboard. Just being able to put out your KPIs, and your colors are just, they're not saying too much and they are perfect, right? So I like that. Your total student was 502, meaning that this row was about 502, Abi.
Yes, please.
Got it from Gaggle.
Yes, please.
So you mentioned that why is everybody doing duplicate? I create duplicates. I mean, at the end of the day, it depends on the cleaning that your data needs, in essence, honestly. So if your data is really not all that dirty and it just only cleaning duplicates you should have removed. So in that case, that's really all that you can do, right? You can't force a cleaning where there's no cleaning. But I think you mentioned other cleaning steps you took, but I really did not grab. I know you said duplicate. What else?
So when we got the data was clean. We didn't have
Okay.
I think we only had one duplicate that was removed from the data set because we had no values for one student that didn't have all the parameters of the other columns. So the data was clean from our end, but what we did from our end is we did categorizing because the data came in as a binary data that has 0 and 1, yes or no, yes or no. So what we did was
Okay.
we did a count and categorized it, and we had ones that came with rating of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we did a grouping to rate the grouping and also know, okay, this can indicate high stress, this can indicate low stress, and this can indicate moderate stress. So the one for the study hours, we had to look online and to check what is the ideal study hour for a student. So Google gave us the answer. So we grouped it based on that. So we had people that had low study hour, people that had high study hour. So we did more of categorizing in the data set. So that's it.
Oh, fantastic. Well done. Well done. Blessing. I think that's okay. Like I said, you know, great dashboard, great presentation. I like your choice of topic. I also like the fact that you sort of had problem statement. Um, just with your analysis and pretty much you did your research just to back up. But I can see that, I mean, 502 is good, but it would have been great to sort of, it has already been clear, but I'm saying outside of this project, not much feedback or something you really need to work on this project, but just, I feel like that was a caveat that we did not give out. I think it would have been great to put that we don't want less than 100, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, as the case may be, so that really the more the rows, the more dirty data can even be, and the more you can really get your hands, like, oh, I really like, oh, and I sort of learned something more than that. So it would have been great if we had did that. But just aside that, I love your presentation. So well done. Kudos to you. So how many members on your team?
7.
Oh wow, that's a huge
I
team.
can't.
Yeah. All right, well done. All right, it was great having you, Blessing. So I'll hand it over to Joy to take over, please.
Okay, team Data Allies, thank you for your presentation. Thank you, Blessing. Okay, so the next team to present, I believe, is Team We Group. We Group, are you here, please?
Yes, thank you so much. I believe you are seeing my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I'll get started right now. Thank you once again for this opportunity to present. So I'm presenting on behalf of my group, We Group, and we have a medical healthcare data set. So we call it We Group Medical Center, basically. So I'll be guided by the following outline. So basically, the context and importance of our presentation is that we want to use data-driven decision-making to improve patient care and hospital efficiency. And the purpose of our analysis is to extract key insights from patient records, identify trends in their conditions, treatment, and financial data, and this would allow us to support better hospital decision making. And our data set was 1,000 patient record. spanning 3 years from 2018 to 2020, and it covered demographics such as age and gender, medical conditions and medication, the financial data, which includes the insurance and out-of-pocket expenses, as well as the hospital services and visit trends. And I'll just show you the data briefly. So we got this data from ChatGPT, and we prompted it, telling us to give us a messy healthcare data set. So afterwards, we cleaned this data. It also has two other columns that we got our insight from. And this is our dashboard. I'll proceed with the presentation. So I'll be showing each chart from the dashboard and the insight that we're able to get from it. So basically, from our KPI, we focused on getting insight from the following: the demographics and visit trends, the top performing doctors, revenue breakdown, common health conditions, and medication usage. So when it came to the demographics and visit trend, we're able to observe that we had more females than male from the data. There are 649 female, and the rest were male. And also middle age and senior adults made up the majority. And most visits happen on weekdays. Thursdays and Mondays were the top days. And from the first bar chart I have on my screen, we had 5 top performing doctors which had more than 150 patients. And the possible interpretation that we're able to get from this was that, out of the 13 doctors, 5 of these doctors having more than 150 patients means that the high patient count may indicate trust or popularity among these doctors. And Dr. Williams had more patient counts. And in terms of the revenue breakdown, the total revenue was $270,000. With the breakdown, we have the insurance $120,000 and the out-of-pocket being $150,000. So the insight we're able to derive from this was that patients are covering more costs than insurance. And in terms of the known patient conditions, we're able to observe that asthma had more conditions, which was 211, followed by heart disease and diabetes. And the patients with unknown conditions from our data after we cleaned were 206 patients. And the insight that we're able to derive from this is that chronic diseases dominate the hospital visits. And when it came to the medication usage, from the column chart on the screen, the known medications, we're able to observe that atorvastatin was majorly used by the patient. And the insight that we're able to derive that the medication trends suggest prevalence of cholesterol, diabetes, and respiratory issues. And this coincides with the conditions that the patients had, like asthma. This is a respiratory issue. So in terms of the clinical observation, we also try to get insights from the blood pressure and cholesterol trends and the top treatment services. So when it came to the blood pressure, we saw that the highest count was 140/90, which suggests a possible hypertension trend. And the cholesterol distribution was 146, 160, and 200 milligrams by deciliter, which shows signs of lipid issues. So, and the top treatment and services that was used by the patients was lifestyle modification, and consultation and x-ray were the top services that were provided for 180 patients and 170 patients respectively. And our suggestion is that the hospital could focus on preventive measures and lifestyle intervention. So we also had a slicer in our data to also see how the data varied among gender. So we're able to observe that asthma and heart disease are more common in females than males. And the suggestion is that that gender-based healthcare strategies could improve patient outcomes. So in conclusion, I'll be telling you our key takeaways and the recommendation for future analysis. So the key takeaways are chronic illnesses such as asthma, heart disease, and diabetes drive majority of patient visits. And lifestyle-based treatments are widely used alongside medications. And personalized healthcare strategies based on gender and age can enhance patient outcomes. So we recommended a framework called EIL framework, which is that evaluate, investigate, and leverage. So evaluating treatment effectiveness can optimize patient care, and investigating IBP and cholesterol risk factors could inform preventive strategies, and leveraging predictive analytics to anticipate patients' readmissions and could improve hospital planning as well. So these are team members. Thank you for listening, and we'll be taking any questions. So I'll just show you our dashboard once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Iola, for that lovely presentation. Thank you to Team We Group for your efforts. So, Ms. Ruby, please, feedbacks.
All right. Thank you, Team Wigo, for your lovely presentation. I enjoyed it. It was concise. I mean, not really, not, it's somehow hard to be able to communicate that well in terms of you know, um just your whole process. So you're able to do all of that very, very seamlessly, right? I even like the fact that just in between your various insights, I mean, personally, for me, I don't really know doing a dashboard and then doing it in a PowerPoint can sort of, make the um presenter, so to speak, really shy away from giving out the information to the whoever's listening or stakeholder. But the fact that you had it in a PowerPoint and you were still able, I still like it felt like I was watching your dashboard from the PowerPoint, because at each chart you sort of said, okay, this is my key insight. Oh, you said, oh, you still, because I mean, I could see the chart and I could tell what the insight was. But you just were able to summarize the insight again after just saying so many stories about the child. Okay, that this number, this bar chart that was the highest is attributed to this specific point. But you were still able to summarize the key insights just by the right and say from this chart I was able to so I really like that. I like the fact that your PowerPoint also was interactive, so you were able to like display that on full screen, and then you were moving and the colors were also changing. You made that really very like interactive. You made that lively, so I really like your PowerPoint. I liked your presentation. I also like the fact that you also went ahead to take a data from ChatGPT. I think that's where I was like, oh, nice. So you told ChatGPT, you wrote a prompt, which is good. Outside of, I mean, that's even something I will share with somebody. Do you know? I never just really think of it. I think it's the first time I'm just seeing this. I've just never thought of it. Oh, you can actually write a prompt. Oh, yeah. I think I've seen something like that before. But yeah, thank you so much. It's like a reminder. You killed. I even like the fact that you were not really shying away from the fact that you didn't want dirty data, so you told ChatGPT to write a data for you that was very dirty, so you could use that and really tackle. You guys would tackle yourselves as a team, and then you were able to really clean that. So, how many rows is your data, so to speak?
So the rows of the data were 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
No
6.
rows. No, please, that's column.
Oh, the rows. So we had
Yeah.
1,000 rows because they
Oh yeah,
were,
you mentioned.
yeah. So we had patient record for 1,000.
Yeah.
And we also had different sheets. So we didn't just have the patient record. We also had like the medical records. That is, we wanted to know the hospital and the doctors that were attending to each
Okay.
patient and their treatment. And then we also had the billing record as well. So because we wanted to gain the insights from the patient perspective, from how the doctors were also responding to the patients, as well as the treatment and the drugs that they were given to the patients. But we also wanted to know the insurance coverage. So we also calculated the insurance coverage of each patient and also the money they are spending from their pockets. So that was how we are also able to derive from our insights that they are spending more money than the insurance as well.
So these were like different tables, like different sheets. So how did you do your modeling? Take me to your Power BI.
So we didn't use Power BI, we used Excel. So all of the work was done on Excel.
Let me see. Okay. Just a moment.
Okay.
All right. I'm just trying to see what you really did, because just working with multiple sheets like this in Excel, in Power BI, just modeling can do the work by fact table dimension. But I'm just trying to see. Okay, you created pivot tables, right?
Yes, we created
Take,
pivot
take me
tables.
take me to your pivot table.
So these are pivot tables.
Different term. How do you clean your data?
Yes. So just to show our teamwork, I will just allow some of our team to explain that. So it won't be just me talking. So if Zainab or Abraham is here, they can.
Good
Yes, Zainab.
afternoon. Yeah, my name is Zainab. So I'll take you through our cleaning process. We did all of our cleaning on Microsoft Excel because we're beginners and we only have knowledge of basic functions in Microsoft Excel. That was why we used just Microsoft Excel. So the first thing that we did was we cleaned the patient name columns because they were in mixed cases. Then they had excess spaces, and some of the values had the at symbol instead of a. So we removed the excess spaces, we changed them to proper case, then we replaced the at symbol with the letter A.
Yeah.
Then for the age column, we had some missing values. We used the average to fill in the missing values, like the average of all the values we had on that column. Then we used it to fill in the missing rows. Then we used conditional formatting or conditional functions rather to create the age group column. Then the visit dates, we had to rearrange some of them because some the month came before the dates, while in some the date came before the month. So we had to rearrange them and then convert them to date format. Then for the medication column, we changed them from uppercase to proper case. And then we took out the email column, the phone number column, and date of birth column because they didn't have any relevance to the analysis that we're trying to derive, the insights we're trying to derive. They had no correlation to them. So we took those columns out.
So
All right.
thank you. I wanted to know if Abraham is also on the call, if he could just add something.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Mm, this your take me back to your clean. This your proper. You said you changed this thing from upper proper. I can't see the proper. Okay. This is
Yeah.
a cleaned one.
This is the
All
clean.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. So thank you. Yeah, well done, team. What's your team's name? I didn't get it.
We group.
Okay, thank you, we group. I'll just hand it over to Joy.
Okay, thank you, team We Group, for your presentation. So we have about 9 more teams to go. Okay, so the next team is Team Cos Clan. Cos Clan, please, are you here? Team Cos Clan. Okay, so it doesn't seem like anybody from Team Cos Clan is here. So we'll be taking Team The Prime Era. Please, anybody from The Prime Era? If you are here, please signify. Team Tech Avengers, are you here, please? So no Cos Clan, no The Prime Era, no Tech Avengers. Is Team Grit here? Anybody from Team Grit?
Yes, we are.
All right, please, the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. Good afternoon. This is Molokodan Abdurrahman presenting for Team Grit. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can. Please proceed.
All right. So the name of our project is we are uncovering political crime trends and hotspots in Nigeria. So that's on political crime and violence remains major challenges in Nigeria, impacting social security, economic stability, and public safety. Understanding crime trends and hotspots and key actors is essential for developing effective interventions. So these studies analyzes political crime from data from 2022 to 2024, leveraging data-driven insights to uncover patterns and risks. By identifying key trends, this analysis aims to support law enforcement, policymakers, and communities in making informed security decisions that enhance public safety. So our problem statement is political crime and violence in Nigeria continue to rise, posing threats to public safety, economic stability, and national security. But policymakers and security agencies lack data-driven insights to identify crime hotspots and trends and key actors, leading to ineffective interventions. Without proper analysis of crime data, resource allocation and crime prevention strategies remain reactive rather than proactive, limiting their impact. So the methodology we used in this project is we extracted data extraction and processing, we imported raw data, ensuring accuracy and consistency. We did EDA, we did this geospatial and temporal analysis, and we visualized. So the source of our data was collected from armed conflict location and event data project. It is a reputable database tracking political violence, protest, and conflict-related events around the world. So I'm going to leave my other group member, Abdulmujib, to share the insights and recommendations we got from this data. Thank you.
Yeah, so please going forward, sorry to cut you short, going forward, if you are presenting for your team, kindly leave it at one person so that there's no breaking, just flow. Thanks.
All right. Well.
Hello. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. We
Yes,
can hear
we
you too. You have like 5
Okay.
minutes left.
All right, thank you. So our dashboard was basically consists of 3 pages: a drill-through page, our home page, then our fatality analysis page. So to start off from the home page, our KPI shows the total crime recorded, the number of fatalities, and the rates of crime, the total rates of crime in those 3 years. So we use the drill-through page to specifically check the incidents in each state and how the political crime increase each month. Then we check the type of crime and the perpetrators of those crimes and how they vary across each state. Then our fatality analysis checks those the highest dates fatality were recorded, the crime type of those fatality and those perpetrators and attacks. So to use a case study of last 2023 election, that was the first quarter of the year. So let's check that. 2023. So we see that in 2023, the total number of political crime recorded was 3,919 with a fatality of 8,764. And the increase in political crime compared to 2022 was 14%. And that is quite an increase. So the most form of attacks were attacks, then armed clashes, then abduction and forced disappearance. Then the highest perpetrators of these crimes are the Unified Armed Group, Military Forces of Nigeria, then Islamic State West Africa province or Boko Haram. So to look at the map, we see that Borno State has the highest number of crimes recorded because it is the only outlier we had in the highest outlier we had in our data. So to check further analysis on it, we see that this line chart shows the increase in crime per month and the average fatality in each month. So we see that in this line chart, there is a steady increase in crime every month. And these are the locations those crimes were committed with in this map charts. Then we check the category of these crimes. We see that the highest crime committed was battles. There's a lot of battles, and it's contributed to the most of these crimes. And the perpetrators of these crimes are Islamic State West Province or Boko Haram, the military forces of Nigeria. So Boko Haram again, military forces of Nigeria. So we can also check from our Digitaley page any states we want to look at. Sorry.
Please, you have less than 1 minute. Kindly
Okay.
wrap up.
So let's check our incident rates. So yeah, we analyze the highest reported fatality in a day. So in March 1, we see that there is 202 casualties in Niger State, one in Maiduguri and one in Kundu. And the highest state with the state with the highest number of fatalities is Borno State, which is the most active in these crimes. And the number of fatalities we have that are targeting civilians are less than the one that are not targeting civilians. That means the higher number of fatalities occurs between these clash forces, either the military forces or the Boko Haram. So this here, the military forces and the Niger communal militia are the parties that are involved in this crime. So it's safe to say that the number of fatalities in this crime is among this group. So let me take you back to our slide for
Okay. Thank you for your
conclusion.
presentation. Your
All right,
time is
thank
up,
you.
please.
Okay.
Thank you, Team Great. Okay, so
Yes,
over
ma'am.
to you, Ms. Ruby.
Nice presentation, Team Great. Yeah, nice presentation, really. Well done. So just quick honesty, quick reservation. So I like a dashboard. I mean, you would see red, but you would think that red would just throw the whole thing off, and it's like, it's too much colors playing out. But you're still, really like subtle and user friendly.
Thank you, ma'am.
I think what you think you can just touch up the way your KPIs look nice, though. Trust me, like, but the way it is can just be better in terms of like the outlook. Then,
Okay.
I also think if you guys like just take for instance, you're to do this hackathon anywhere, you're to move to the next stage or so, or you're to do hackathon anywhere, you want to be sure that you're really as concise as possible so that you're hitting the most important information on the nail on the head, you're hitting it on the head rather, and it's going really like, okay, you're putting out the most important information very concise. So rather than, because if you're like, here and there, it's like nobody really gets, and you have a fantastic analysis of voice, like people be like, you get, but like it's being able to communicate well that really just sells your whole analysis. So you might just need to work on that going forward, and just touching up your KPIs as well. Then also I noticed something that everybody was doing here. So normally when you do problem statements, if you're very good, just now, I'm going to talk on it. If you're doing problem statement for any business case scenario, problem statement are really supposed to follow the SMART rule. You know,
Yes.
is it actionable? Is it measurable? So
Yeah.
something like that. So what that means is it has to be concise. So if, let's say, the problem statement, take me back to your problem statement where you guys are doing, on a PowerPoint. So let's say you
Okay.
started off with my problem statement is okay, hey. The problem statement can be, political crime and violence in Nigeria is on the rise. That's really all. So all this story you are putting posing thread, blah, blah, you can just use your mouth to say this one, because obviously you need to just just talk on it very briefly, and maybe just like give like maybe statistics if you want to. Maybe
Yes,
on
ma'am.
your presentation, on your slide, your problem statement is meant to be, if you want to follow the SMART rule, very, very, very concise, and like it should be a one line that just really like itemizes the whole, like people just see your problem statement, okay, just okay, your analysis is just really based on, you want to test the relationship between this or that, you want to validate this, you want to just really, but all this, the extra story can now come when you're making a presentation. So if I'm making a presentation, I can now start to say, okay, you don't even need to be reading out what is on the slide. Okay, where you see on the slide that there's 3 points, we are reading it out. No, it should just be one line. Then you now use your mouth to talk about, oh, we know that policymakers and security agencies lack data-driven insight, and really we decided to do this analysis so we can really evaluate blah 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 the effect of really the resource allocation and crime blah, blah. So that's when you now say, okay, now moving on to the strategies that we employed in this analysis. We started off fast. So it's really like you just saying it with your mouth, but your parent statement written down should be, follow the SMART run, should be as concise as possible. So if you
Yes,
can
ma'am.
just work on that, like going forward, really in any case scenario, that will work. Just your KPI as well. And yeah, I think your analysis was quite broad. So if you take me back to your dashboard, you see that you had some drill through, and you could, for instance, if you show me a particular insight, I'm like, okay, cool, I really want to see that your geographical data, like expansion, so you were able to like take me there, walk me through everything that was relating to that specific insight. So I really do, what if that's really what I'm interested in the most. So I really like that you're able to do all of that. I could see your dashboard
Thank
as
you,
just
ma'am.
one dashboard, but there's plenty sides to it that can tell further stories. So well done to your team. Yeah,
Thank you,
well done.
ma'am.
Yeah, I'll leave it back to Joy.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Tim. Great for your presentation. Thank you,
Yes, ma'am.
Abdul. Okay, so the next team will be Team Query Crew. Please, are you here?
Yes, we are here. I'm here.
Okay, great. Please, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so good evening, everybody. My name is Victoria, and I am representing Query Crew. Straight to the presentation. The data we analyze is an education data from Udemy, and we had gotten our data from Kaggle. As we all know, Udemy is a very popular online learning platform where people are taught and certifications are given as well. They have over 250,000 courses with 73 million students currently. So, but for our analysis, we are looking at the year 2011 to 2017, because that's like the year that we got from Kaggle, 2011 to 2017. Udemy started in the year 2010, but our analysis started from 2011 to 2017. And for the first point there, the number of course title, we have 3,658 number of courses. These are courses that people subscribed to. So they have so many courses ranging from IT to leadership to web development to communication and to business and all that. But from 2011 to 2017, the course fell in the category of web development. Most of the courses fell in four categories: web development courses, business finance courses, graphic design courses, and musical instrument courses. Like, it's, in as much as there were 3,658 course titles, they fell in four categories: web development, business finance, graphics design, and musical instruments. So from 2011 to 2017, the number of courses that people subscribed to was 3,658. Then the total number of subscribers was 12 million. The total revenue that was gotten from the courses that were offered is $885 million. And the average course duration was 4.09 hour, because for the course, the time spent on each course, you would see that for a course, some may be for 30 minutes. For another course, some may be for 30 hours, depending on the course subscribers we're going for. But on average, there were like 4.09 courses. Now, the next point, percentage free or paid. It really shows that Udemy offer more of paid courses, because for the paid course, it was 91.57%. And then for the free course, percentage free, it was 8, after we analyzed, it was 8.43%, to tell you that most of the courses is in Udemy are free courses. Then the course with the highest revenue. When we look at the first course that came out with 24 million, the highest, it is web developer, the name is web developer bootcamp. The second one as well is a web developer course, the complete web developer course 2.0. The third one is not a web developer course, but it's a musical course. Remember, I mentioned that there are four categories, that each of the courses, despite being 6,600 and 3,658, despite being that number, they fell in four categories. I mentioned that it was web development, business finance, graphics design, and musical instruments. The first two are under web development. The third one is under musical instruments. The fourth and fifth are under web development. So it's to tell you that the courses that generated the highest revenue for that year was under the web development category. The sum of revenue by year, when we analyzed it, we found out that that 2015 came out with the highest revenue with 0.31 billion naira. We'll have to look into what exactly made 2015 a success after the my presentation. Then the next one, correlation of price and revenue. Now, this particular chart, it's really telling us that for the 0 day, it's really telling us that the free course had the highest review, followed by 200. That one is like the most expensive price that was given for a course by Udemy. It had the second highest number of reviews. That's to tell you that the people that engaged more is the free course, the one with 0, and the price is 132,000. The trend of courses added yearly. I mentioned that Udemy started in the year 2010. Our analysis commenced from 2011. Now, if you look at the trend, you will see that there was a steady increase. So in the year 2011, they offered fewer courses. In the year 2012, the same thing. 2013, 2014, 2015, the number of courses they offered increased. Then if you look at 2016, that was like the peak, after which in the year 2017 it dropped. We checked the courses with the highest revenue, the highest review. The highest course with the highest review was a web development course. In fact, the three that are there are all web development courses. Next slide. Okay, so the course with the
Team
highest
Query Crew, please,
subscribers.
you have less than a minute. Please wrap up.
Okay. The course with the highest subscriber was also a web development course. The level of impact, we have all levels. Most people subscribed to the course that gave them all, that has the course with all levels, that had both the beginners, intermediary, and experts. And then the category with the highest subscriber, like I've said over time, it's web development. You can see that there. So those were our insights. And then our recommendation is that, one, that Udemy should offer more free courses, because it becomes the bait to attract potential customers that would help increase enrollment and in turn revenue. So in as much as they offered more of paid courses, if we could recall, we'll see that the what gave them the highest review were the free courses. So the people that offered free courses engaged more than those with paid courses. Then we should encourage more student review, as highly rated courses attracts more enrollment. We should provide membership or subscription plan for unlimited learning access. Since people went for the all level course, it only tells us that people would not want to end at the beginners or the intermediary or the expert. They would want to go for all three. So why not offer them subscription? The fourth point there is that we should provide more web development courses and promote these courses more. That's because when we looked at the analysis, we saw that web development ranked highest. Then finally, Udemy should investigate and adopt their 2015 success strategies to boost its revenue. Like we said, 2015 came out with the highest revenue. 2015 came out with the highest revenue, and it's really because of the web development courses that they offered, and also because they offered more of free courses. So it was like a lead generation for them, what led to them attracting potential customers. Thank you.
All right. Great presentation. You mentioned that they had. I think you mentioned that they had more people, more of their users were on the free courses, right? That's what you said earlier. Or was it paid or free? You said.
I said that Udemy offered more of paid courses, then they offered fewer percentage of free. Like free users were few. Like they offered free courses, fewer free courses, right? But the most engagement that they got, the most review came from people who subscribed to the free ones, who were for the free ones than the paid. So it was more like a lead generation that enabled them to get their revenue.
So which of the paid or free that had like the highest users?
Sorry, come again.
Which of the paid or free, which of them had like more users?
The free had more users, but it was more like what attracted the paid people, because most times, when you tell people that this is free, they will want to come, but it's in attending and then seeing what Udemy offers that they would now want to go further and learn for paid, and then pay for it and then go further and learn it.
So you're saying in essence that you have just a minute. So yeah, apologies. So you were saying that the free courses had more users. That's what you said, right? Just a summary.
More reviews, more engagement, more reviews.
Yeah, you already said that. I'm asking you, which of the courses had more users?
The paid had more users, but then the free had more reviews. It had like
know that
engagement.
you already said that. I've gotten that. I was asking you which of the courses had more. One can have more review and it can have less users. Maybe the users are just very excited to give reviews because they're like, oh my god, I'm happy to give it over and over and again. So it's possible that there might be less users with more reviews. It's not impossible. So I wanted to know which of the courses had more users. Was it the free or the paid courses?
The paid courses had more users.
All right, got it. So I really think that that's all from my end. Your dashboard looks okay. I feel like it can be better, honestly. If I really can, run a more like a Power BI class right now to show you, but I feel like you can just go back and just do a little bit of findings. But I feel like your dashboard can actually be better. Do you want to show me your modeling? Let's even just see how it looks. I'm just trying to keep my feedback very, 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 very like short. You don't have a modeling. So yeah, I feel like your dashboard can be better, honestly. So if there's a way you can just make it look better, I think you use purple because Udemy is purple though. But yeah, you can just see how you can make this a bit better. Yeah, I task you on that, and let's just see how it goes. But so far, your analysis was good. You were able to like give like the most important insights, that someone can typically want to get from an education platform. So it means that you really did your research on like what pointers are really important for this specific kind of data. So yeah, well done, well done. So over to you, Joy.
All right, thank you.
Over to you, Joy. Okay, if Joy is not on the call, can we have the next team? I think the next team should be based on the sheet should be team data quenchers. Data quenchers. Are you guys here? Data quenchers. Are you guys here? All right, let's have data quenchers. Quenchers. Can we have data quenchers? All right, can we have data quartets? Data quartets. Are you guys here? Can anybody hear me?
I think we split data dynamo.
Yeah, data dynamo just presented. Okay, data dynamos. Got it. So query crew just presented, right? Query crew, right? If I'm being
Yes,
correct.
yes.
So
Correct.
data dynamos. I think that's the last guy. So data dynamos, over to you. Data dynamos, are you guys here? So one more time, data quenchers, are you guys here to go? Data quartet, are you guys here to go? Data dynamos, are you guys here to go? I think that should be all really. Or what other team do we have? Okay, Tech Avengers, you guys want to go because you guys didn't go earlier. Tech Avengers and the Prime Era, are you guys here? Tech Avengers, are you guys here? The Prime Era, you guys here? The Prime Era, you guys here? All right, so that should be all for now. So if the teams are not here, so it means that out of 18, we did a total of 12 teams. So Joy, are you here?
Yes, I'm
Hello,
so sorry.
good evening. Sorry, I was trying to share my screen, but network was disturbing, so I had to leave the
Please,
meet
what
and
team are you? What team are you, please?
data dynamos. Sorry, I was trying to share my
Please,
screen.
after
Network.
no problem. Please, after data dynamos, we're not taking any team again. So data dynamos can go. Then, yeah, I think that's the last team for today.
All right, let me try and share my screen. Good evening, everyone. Can you all see my screen? Good evening, everyone. Can you all see my screen?
No, we can't see
No.
your screen.
Ah, what's going on?
We can see it now.
All right, all right. Um, Good evening, everyone. My name is Wanko Gochku Grace. I'm representing Team Data Dynamos. So we worked on Google Play Store apps analysis. So the summary of our data is this: our data set has the potential to drive app making businesses to success. We can derive actionable insight from the data app for app developers to work on and capture the Android market. So while we got our data from Cargo, while many data sets on Cargo provided Apple App Store data, there are not many counterparts data sets available for Google Play Store apps anywhere on the web. So going back to our dashboard, we had over 168 billion installs on this data. We have over 10,841 different apps on this data. And then we had 168 billion installs. Then the app description, we have free apps and paid apps. Then the paid apps, we have the maximum paid app is $400. And it wasn't just one app that was paid $400 for. We have over 13 apps that's the maximum price for them were $400. Our average reviews was 444,152.90. Then the maximum install in our data is 1 billion installs. And it wasn't also just one app that was installed 1 billion times. It was over 58 different apps that were installed 1 billion times. So we have the highest installs by genre. The genre with the highest install is the communication genre, the productivity genre, the social genre, tools, and so on. You can also slide through to like see the other genres and the number of installs. We also have health, business, advertisement, finance, and so on. So on this particular display, we have the
Sorry,
genre.
sorry to cut you short. Am I the only one that's just seeing a blank screen?
Yo,
You're not the only one, no. Me too.
Well, goodness.
you guys are not seeing my screen.
No, we are not.
I'm not seeing what you're presenting.
Yo. Let me try to refresh. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Can you see the dashboard?
We can.
Okay, this is the dashboard. So I said our data was gotten from Cargo, and our data is for Google Play Store apps analysis. That is the different apps that are uploaded on Google Play Store. That is the analysis we did on this data. So we have over 10,841 different apps on this data, and we had 168 billion installs. We have a description type, and the description type is based on the paid apps and the free apps. And then we have maximum app price. The maximum app price we had was $400, but it wasn't just one app that had the maximum price to be 400. We have over 13 different apps that had $400 as their maximum price. And then we have our average reviews. Our average reviews was 444,152.90. Then over here we have 1 billion installs for maximum installs in the data. But also, we didn't have just one app that had 1 billion installs. We had over 58 different apps that had maximum of 1 billion installs. Then over here in this display, we have the highest installs by genre. You can slide through to see the highest installs. The highest installs by genre is communication, we have productivity, we have social, we have tools, and the rest of photography and the rest. So if you slide through, you can be able to see the different, you can be able to see the other different genres and the number of installs that they had. We have strategy, we have racing, we have business, including finance. Then this other display here is showing the genres with the highest size. That is the memory space. The genre with the highest memory space was the tools genre, followed by entertainment, which had 623 megabytes, followed by education, which had 549 megabytes, and medical, followed by business. Over here, we have the top 20 highest paid apps. The top 20 highest paid apps was I Am Rich. We also Googled this I Am Rich to know if there's any app like I Am Rich on Google Play Store. And we actually found that there is an app named I Am Rich in Google Play Store. And then there are a lot of, if you slide through the data, if you slide through this display, you will see other apps too that and their prices. We have $308 for this app. This one is also I Am Rich, but a different kind of I Am Rich app. Then here, this display is showing the annual app trend, the annual apps price trend. That's the prices of the app over the years, because this data only displayed 2010 to 2018 data. That is from 2010 to 2018. So over the years, there were not really much apps that were being paid for. So, but gradually within from 2015, some apps they started paying for some apps from 2015. If you look from 2011, sorry, 2010, there were not many apps that were paid for. And we also displayed the month so that we also know if maybe there is any reason for a price hike in the price in the apps that were being uploaded in Google Play Store. So down here from 2015, they started paying for apps, 2016, 17, 18, and the rest of it. So 2018 had the highest year for price trend. And then July 2018, most apps were paid for in July 2018. So over here, we have category with the highest downloads. The category with the highest download in this data is the game. After game, you have communication, we have productivity, we have socials. If you also slide down, you'll be able to see other apps, shopping, and the number of downloads that they got. Also, we also have apps with the highest reviews. The apps with the highest reviews, the top 4 apps with the highest reviews is Instagram, WhatsApp, Clash of Clans, and Messenger. Then
So
in
this
the
and you have, in fact, you've exhausted your time. So please just wrap up quickly. Thank you.
all right, sorry. And then this other slide is showing the most of the apps that had 1 billion downloads. The YouTube, that is the average installs with our data, the YouTube, the Google, the Gmail, and all. And then here we have the highest categories, the highest rating. Over here, I was able to just show since this category family is showing the highest rating, I just brought out some of the apps that the individual apps in the category family to show the names of the app, this Roblox and the rest of them. Then apps with the highest rating, we have Candy Crush, Duolingo, and the rest of it. We also added slides just to show in case maybe we want to know a particular app and how they went through the years, the category they are from, and the rest of it. This is where you can slide through to show the name of the apps and stuff. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ogachukwu, for your presentation. Thank you, Team Data Dynamos. Okay, please, Miss Ruby, feedbacks.
Your dashboard is great, nice presentation. 1 billion. Please, modeling.
I didn't do much of my modeling. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I didn't do
the cannot work. Your data set is about 1 billion rows, if I'm correct.
No, 10,841 rows.
So what's
I need
that metric? Yeah, so what's that metric that is saying 1 billion downloads? Is it that for a specific movie or app, they had 1 billion downloads?
yes, they had 1 billion installs, yes.
Oh, all right. So I mean, at the end of the day, it just makes sense to do. Honestly, it just makes sense to always do model. You cannot do modeling; it's not a must, though, but it means that you sort of have written like some complex DAX measures that sort of can help you do what modeling will do for you. Because modeling is just a way. Your dashboard, you might funny enough, do you know what I'm saying to you? Because in the past, when I started doing data analytics, I used to visualize data. Like I would take plenty a data set from Google that had like plenty rows, entry or data points. I would visualize it's always giving me correctly. So I just to think that I was in the right thing until I started modeling my data. And that's when I realized that, oh my God, like my visuals got better. I was just doing nonsense. And you could give else could model a data, you see that you appear really better. So I just don't. I mean, there's a reason why that modeling is just for you to connect your table. So you should have a fact table where you put in all the IDs, and then you now use a dimension table to connect the IDs to the fact table, right? You just use the IDs to connect the dimensional table to fact table. So it's always good to do modeling. Like, how do you guys build dashboard without doing modeling? So I was like, really. But in terms of your dashboard, I really think that the choice of colors are good. You can also improve, honestly. So, your KPIs can be better. So you also want to like introduce some interesting things to your dashboard. So your dashboard is like, okay, fine and good. It appears a bit more static. I don't know how to explain. You want to like add some features that can allow you interact with it, some drill through, some slicers, and just other buttons actually that can help you interact with it. And your KPIs too, because I see no reason why there's a KPI. Your KPI chart or box is not even consistent. So that 1 billion now is a wider this thing than the one by the right that has like average indicator like 444. The max up price is now like it now has like it has more length than the width, whereas 1 billion has width than length. Your total is now different again. Then you now added a chart beside your KPI. So it really shouldn't really be that way. So some people just put their KPIs up, and then sometimes they just put their KPI by the right. But you see that there's this structure. So you're not really following a structure. All your charts too are not really like following any structure. So it's not a must charts should have the same shape. You see that some people do their charts that has graph longer, but you will just see that structure. Even if you're trying to do a chart that is wider, but everything with the height will kind of align. So you see one alignment feature that allows you align the head. It means that the head is not ideal for it to be different. Like the highest initials by January is that way. You will now see that January's with the highest size is now like longer. There's no now alignments in terms of the bottom and the height. So you really want to just work on that so that your dashboard, your charts are not really like scattered around. They're like very, very like defined. The lines are defined. They're just there, and you play around with some features that can really just allow you interact with your dashboard, so to speak. Yeah.
All right.
So
Thank
I
you very
believe that
much.
that's really the feedback that you can implement. Yeah.
Thank you, Ma.
Over to you, Joy.
Okay, thank you, Data Dynamos, for your presentation. Okay, so Shubi was saying that this will be the last team to present, and I think we have about 2 more teams to go.
No, it's not about being the last. They were not here. I've been calling their team. Not like we're saying we want to. They're not present. So that's just the last team. That's present. So yeah, we can just close for today.
Okay. Okay, so thank you everybody for your presentation. Thank you to all the teams that presented today. The other teams that were unavailable, I don't
Oh,
think there will be.
good afternoon. Good
They don't care.
evening.
You want to say something?
Yeah, good evening. It's not see. I'm from team data quenchers. The person which is supposed to present, we actually thought the presentation is starting the same time it started yesterday, and that's why the person is not currently here.
Yeah, but I
And
sent out.
currently, I don't have my laptop with me. I would have done the presentation on her behalf.
Hmm.
Because we actually thought it was going to start by the same time it started, and she's currently at work now. So I don't know if there can be an extension for the presentation on her behalf.
Um. Okay, I don't care. I don't know
Yes,
about
ma'am.
that. I think we'll get back to you. Or Miss Ruby, what do you think, please? Okay. So it doesn't seem like she's here anymore.
I'm still
So
hearing you. Okay. Okay. It should be okay.
okay. So I don't care. We probably would get back to you. So once
Okay.
again, thank you to all the teams
All right.
that yes that presented yesterday and today. And thank you for the amazing work that you guys put in to make yesterday and today a success. So we'll be getting back to you in the coming days with the selection for the 8 people that will be moving on to the final stage of the hackathon, which will be happening on the 6th of March, which is next week, Thursday. So the time and any other relevant information will be communicated to you via email and also on the group chats. So thank you everybody once again. Thank you for your time, and I guess we can call it a day here. Thank you. You have a lovely night rest.